Buses of evacuees arrive as Irving helps with the response to catastrophic floods in southeast Texas.
I'm all medicated, ain't slept. I'm trying to keep from falling apart, but I'm doing good.
We're helping people who have lost everything.
We show how teams are pitching in to help, and we are following other big stories here in the city.
As soon as we met, we were like in love.
Dozens of dogs and cats are new homes after the biggest animal adoption event of the year. See the crowds that clear the shelters. Plus, more airport improvements, talking transportation at the convention center, and we go inside Irving's newest destination for bowlers, Pinstack. This is City Source. An animal adoption event that started in Irving proved successful as it spreads nationwide. Hello and welcome to City Source. I'm Thomas Gandy. That news is coming up. But first, our big story. Texas begins a long cleanup following Hurricane Harvey. Teams from Irving are playing a role in helping victims of this historic storm. We were there as a shelter opened at Lively Pointe Youth Center. Dozens of evacuees from the areas hardest hit by Harvey arrive at Irving's Lively Pointe Recreation Center. Each of them has a story of loss and a lot of unanswered questions. They share them with the city teams helping them out.
We're doing a lot of listening.
Some of the stories I heard last night would break your heart.
Not knowing what to do, not knowing what's next.
They don't know what the condition of their homes are.
Not knowing where family members are.
Here at Lively Pointe, the city of Irving is working with the Red Cross to operate this shelter for storm victims.
We're just here to help and provide support to our fellow Texans down on the coast and trying to make it as easy on them as possible since they've been through a lot.
Kate ain't slept. I'm trying to keep from falling apart, but I'm doing good.
Dan Oakes is finding some comfort because the Irving shelter accepts pets. This is his dog, Hobo. Even though conditions at his home were rough,
He was chest high.
and he's dealing with medical issues, he did not want to get on a rescue boat without his dog.
We had a hard time bringing him because they didn't want to bring animals first. They just told us to bring what we could. I wasn't going to leave him.
It was important for us when we decided to open the shelter here in Irving to make sure that people could stay with their pets.
Be on TV, huh? Like it, huh?
When you separate pets from families, it just increases the stress for everybody. It gives them something to do and kind of a break from all the other things they're dealing with. They still have their best friend with them.
The preparation started long before people and pets arrived. As conditions worsened along the coast, the city got ready. So when the state called, within about 2 hours, this all came together.
Absolutely. Well, we had a lot of the equipment and supplies pre-positioned here just in anticipation.
Planning and practice started even before that. A little more than a year ago, the city participated in a statewide exercise that used a very similar scenario. A major hurricane prompted air evacuations from the coast, sending evacuees to Irving, just as what happened here.
This is a great opportunity for us to truly use all of the things that we've been working on over the last few years. Our emergency management coordinator has worked with us tirelessly to get us prepared for an event like this.
After seeing heart-wrenching sights like these happening over and over, a lot of people in the Irving community want to lend a hand, and the city is directing them to nonprofit organizations.
Irving is an amazing community, and there's always a lot of people that are always willing to help whenever there's an emergency. That being said, really the thing that's going to go the furthest is money. With financial support allows agencies to buy in bulk. It helps more people.
To help the pets, Irving Animal Services is suggesting people look to shelters in the affected areas. Because in Irving,
At this point, we're pretty well taken care of. We have what we need.
I know everybody wants to come out and really help out right now. This is not an immediate thing we're going to be able to solve.
here at Lively Pointe, shelter staff members are working with the victims to help them as much as they can.
We're just trying to be as sensitive as we can to their needs and try to provide whatever support they need.
To meet those demands, the city is coordinating with all levels of government.
Absolutely. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of coordination, a lot of communications between departments within the city, between the county, state, and federal entities.
They are all working to make a positive impact, knowing the evacuees have been through some of the toughest days of their lives.
Knowing that we're helping people in a storm and helping people who have lost everything, it does make you feel good to be a part of the city of Irving and to know that we are making a difference.
In addition to what is happening there at the shelter, 9 members of the Irving Fire Department, who are part of Texas Task Force 2, are involved in rescues along the coast. On another note, it is important to point out that donations are not being accepted at Lively Pointe Youth Center. Instead, as you heard in our story, people are encouraged to donate financially to Irving Cares, the American Red Cross, or the Salvation Army. And here's more about how to help animals.
Basically, every shelter from Austin south is dealing with some sort of recovery that we're not having to deal with up here in the Metroplex. We're harboring evacuees, and that's tough work, but it's nothing compared to what those other shelters are dealing with. So I would encourage people to look for local shelters that they want to support and reach out to those shelters directly and see what they need. Obviously, if they want to support the sheltering efforts up here, we have the SPCA of Texas, and then the county animal response team is responding all over the Metroplex.
Watch for updates on any needs that might come up on the homepage at cityofirving.org. Let's shift the focus now. Live Nation announced that construction delays are prompting it to delay the opening of the Pavilion at the Irving Music Factory. In a statement, the company says, "We apologize to our patrons. However, it is important that we deliver a first-class venue experience." ZZ Top will now be the first performers. That's on September 9th. Other shows will be rescheduled or moved. Comedian Dave Chappelle, originally scheduled for the opening, will now perform at the Irving Music Factory on October 26th and 27th. The shows for Lifehouse and Switchfoot and the Goo Goo Dolls will happen on their originally scheduled dates, but at venues in Dallas. As of production time, Brad Paisley's concert was not able to be rescheduled. Watch for schedule updates at thepavilionimf.com. People interested in learning more about city initiatives are invited to the next town hall meeting. It's Tuesday, September 19th from 6:30 until 8 p.m. at Lee Park Recreation Center. The address is 3000 Pamela Drive. Proposed street and trail projects for District 7 and the outlook for the city's next fiscal year will be among the topics discussed. More than 125 pets from Irving's Animal Care campus are in new homes following this year's Clear the Shelters event. The campaign has grown across the country, and the U.S. total is staggering. More than 75,000 animals adopted. Here's our team's report.
This event is Clear the Shelters, which is a national adoption event that started here in Irving 4 years ago.
We have a birthday coming up, and she's been wanting a puppy, so we're going to come in and try to see what we can find.
And when I look at a puppy, I see like that we could have a good future together.
We're opening the door.
This is amazing. This is definitely the best day of the year for animal sheltering because we get to see a lot of our long-term residents get forever homes.
What attracted you to this dog?
Actually, I was just looking at him and his eyes. I'm not even gonna lie. And he's so sweet, so as soon as we met, we were like in love.
We've had cats for the last 30 years, and unfortunately our cat of about 10 years got cancer last year. I think we found the perfect lap buddy again.
It gets bigger every year. The very first year we had 33 local DFW shelters and NBC5 locally.
This originated with an idea from this very shelter in Irving. They came to us and asked us if we'd be interested.
And then the second year they took it national, and they had about 400 shelters. So this year we have over 700 nationwide, so this is the biggest one yet.
We saw a need and we came together and we brought English and Spanish stations together so we could affect the whole community. All of the attention we're getting is truly what makes this event so successful.
On a personal level, I have 4 rescues of my own. I love them dearly. I can't imagine my life without them, and I want so many other people to experience that same joy.
She was adopted last year.
Oh, really?
She was the last dog left.
How has this dog impacted your life this past year?
Oh, well, first of all, she's a wonderful dog. She came into our lives right at the right time. Just unconditional love. His best friend.
She's really sweet and fun, a big friend on me.
What I enjoy, and I've already seen 2 or 3 times, is a little boy or girl come in with their mom and dad and see that animal that they want, and when they get that big old smile, that's unbelievable.
We saw her yesterday and we fell in love with her, and so we knew we had to come and get her today. We're going to change her name to Patches.
Hi, Patch. I've wanted a husky for a long time now, and I just fell in love with her eyes and her personality. She seems like a great dog, so I chose to adopt her.
I've wanted a dog ever since I moved here because I've always had them until here. So I've waited a year for Clear the Shelters.
Tell me your role out here today.
I'm a volunteer here to help people find a dog or a cat.
How important are the volunteers?
Oh my gosh, we could not do this without the volunteers.
And I have adoption counselors that talk to people about expectations. So we do follow our normal adoption processes on this day. It's just that the adoption fees are waived.
She was very playful. When I went up to the window, she came right up to me. I was like, that's it, she's mine.
It's a great opportunity for us to outreach to the community, to show the community what we do here, the great operation, the services that we provide.
It's a great cause. You see, when you have a good cause, you get a number of people together, you can get a lot of things done. It's a really neat event here in the city of Irving.
Sometimes it gets a little emotional, but it's always with joy because you get to see how happy the animals are to go home, and they can tell something good's happening, and there's a good positive energy here today.
Good to see that. And if you missed that event, our Pets of the Week are coming up at the end of today's show. And there is another chance to have adoption fees waived. All dogs and cats 1 year and older are part of the Teacher's Pet Special, and it's for everyone. It's Saturday, September 23rd at the Animal Care Campus. Now to economic development news. Payway Restaurant is moving its global headquarters from Arizona to Irving. It is expected to bring 100 jobs over the next 4 years. The city and state are providing incentives to Payway. Also, Del Frisco's restaurant group is moving its support center into the former corporate headquarters of Cheddar's Restaurant in Cypress Creek. And there is another business to celebrate. City Source reporter Susan Kamyab has the opening of Pinstack.
Irving's newest entertainment spot is a hit.
So welcome to Pinstack. We'll go on a quick tour.
Mark Moore, CEO of Entertainment Properties Group that operates Pinstack, gave a tour of the state-of-the-art facility.
So if you have kids, all this is fun, but really this is what they're wanting at the end of the day. All the toys and redemption.
Pinstack, located in Las Colinas, features a number of attractions, including public and private bowling lanes, a 2-story laser tag arena, bumper cars, high ropes course, LED lit rock climbing walls, and hundreds of interactive games. The Irving Las Colinas Chamber of Commerce celebrated the official grand opening with a ribbon-cutting ceremony.
Excited to have a lot of members of the chamber out and the mayor out and some of the city council.
I know my son, when he first saw the agenda for a Pinstack coming here, was really excited. This is a big deal, and it's crowded, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
This facility is truly a great facility and something that the neighborhood has needed for many, many years.
And during Pinstack's test run earlier this summer, the mayor got in on the action at the bumper cars.
Well, it was a great opportunity for me and several of my adult friends, the crowd over 55, to get out there and run into each other and see who could knock who around.
But it's not only the games that draws in the crowd.
But it's the food. The food is fantastic.
Everything is made from scratch here. So we even make our pizza dough, and we also have a menu with 24 craft beers and wines on tap as well.
And once the weather begins to cool down, this location anticipates a popular turnout for their patio, which even includes free games.
Here shortly in the fall, when football season starts, we'll be able to open all the garage doors that you see outside, and the patio is really nice when the breeze is coming through.
In addition to the entertainment value Pinstack brings to Irving, it also caters to the city's corporate businesses.
They've got it set up so you can rent bowling lanes and rooms and things of that nature, so you can bring your corporate people out here and they get an opportunity to spend some time together and do some team building.
With its chef-inspired restaurant and the variety of activities, Pinstack offers fun for the whole family. Susan Kamyab for City Source.
And we have one more economic development note. A lot of big dollar projects are underway in Irving. As evidence of that, the city set a record for construction permitting this fiscal year. The total is more than $1 billion. The top project is the new headquarters for Pioneer Natural Resources. You may remember we covered the groundbreaking for that a couple months back. That project is worth about $213 million. The Westin Irving Convention Center Hotel ranks second at $82 million. Irving leaders say the increase can be credited to a number of factors, including the city's expedited permitting process and proximity to DFW Airport. And that airport is marking another milestone in its nearly $3 billion terminal renewal project. All gates in Terminal E are now renovated and reopened. Travelers can enjoy brighter facilities and new amenities. You can see some of the improvements that were complete when we checked in on the progress a few months back. New restaurants are open, and there's also a new parking garage with a system that helps guide drivers to open spaces. Now crews at the airport are focusing on renovating Terminal B. Airports and other ways people get around were the topic at Irving's annual Transportation Investment Summit. The event attracted leaders looking for solutions to mobility and funding challenges. On the road to solutions for transportation and infrastructure issues, this is where some of the major minds intersect. It's the Transportation Investment Summit at the Irving Convention Center.
This summit is so important for Irving because it brings together all of the stakeholders at the local, the state, and the national level to talk about the importance of infrastructure and the needs that we have here in Irving and throughout the region.
We get a chance to visit and talk about our ideas and how we can work together.
The City of Irving has hosted this event for years. This time around, some of the topics covered over 2 days include workforce development, smart technologies, airports, and more.
There are so many things happening in North Texas that we've got to continue to stay on the leading edge of transportation.
It's also a time for recognition. Former Irving Mayor Dan Matkin is receiving the Lifetime Infrastructure Champion Award.
It's kind of a thing that gets us speechless. Well, it's kind of bewildering, quite frankly. You do all these things because really you're just kind of dedicated and it becomes just a way of life.
He's been involved in the development of some of the biggest local projects, DFW Airport, Texas Stadium, Las Colinas, and many others.
We were able to do a lot of things that most people were sure we could not do.
When I look at someone who was former mayor of the city, who is responsible for a lot of the infrastructure we have now, and to see him still involved, he deserves to be honored.
And when you think about when Dan was on the DART board, DART was just getting really established. People hasn't totally bought into it. It was some challenging times from a public transportation perspective, and Dan was there. He was solid, he was rock solid. He knew what the folks, certainly in Irving, needed.
This is a very fair plan. It does provide the two major lines we talked about.
He has that ability to ask the tough questions, but yet he has the personality of a kind, gentle man that allows you to be accepting of the fact that he's asking you a tough question.
Along with recognizing past accomplishments, people here are also talking about what's ahead. Just days before this summit, Irving-based Fluor Corporation announced it has a role in the preliminary development of high-speed rail in Texas.
We've talked about for years to bring high-speed rail between Houston and Dallas is phenomenal. It's going to be a real game changer and a real opportunity for us to have one of our big corporate citizens involved.
While that train is still down the road, it's one of many mobility topics that leaders can stay updated on here at the Transportation Investment Summit.
Irving continues to be one of the leaders in transportation. This summit is part of the reason, that we call ourselves one of the leaders.
And we have one more transportation note. Part of the APT, or People Mover, that connects several Las Colinas office buildings will be out of service beginning September 5th. That's because a new station is being added. During the closure, DART will run free shuttle buses from the Las Colinas Urban Center station every 15 to 20 minutes from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. The buses will run in a loop around the area. DART.org has the full details. Atmos Energy is reminding residents about the phone number 811. It's the number to call to have all buried utility lines located and marked before doing any digging. That includes simply planting a tree, building a fence, or doing more significant construction. The service is free, but Atmos requests 3 business days notice before any digging begins. Atmos says even a scrape or a dent to a natural gas line is enough to cause a potentially dangerous leak. Again, that number to call is 811. The AT&T Byron Nelson wrapped up its final year in Irving in a huge way. The Salesmanship Club of Dallas announced that it raised a record-setting $6.8 million at this year's tournament. The money will be used to fund the educational and therapeutic programs at Momentous Institute. Next year, the Byron moves to Trinity Forest Golf Club in Dallas. The entertainment series of Irving will be previewing its upcoming season, and there's a cool reason to check out the preview. The group is offering Sundays on Sunday, September 24th to be specific. It's in the lobby of the Texas Musicians Museum starting at 2 p.m. Organizers will be sharing information about upcoming concerts and events, which include tributes to John Denver and Elvis, among others. The Sundays and preview are free, but admission to the museum is $5. Keep Irving Beautiful is gearing up for its annual Trash Bash. It will be on Saturday, September 30th at T.W. Richardson Grove Park, and it always features fun activities along with the cleanup. Sign up at keepirvingbeautiful.org and look for Trash Bash on the left side of the screen. It's time now for our Pets of the Week. Here's JP Zavala at the Animal Care Campus.
We're at the Animal Care Campus with Michael Whiteside. And Michael, this sweet, handsome guy is?
This is Taz. Hi. Yeah, I'm talking about you. He is about 11 months old, lab mix. He's really, really friendly. And he was brought into us because his owners didn't have enough time for him. He's been socialized really well. He gets along with everybody. He loves everybody. I'm told that his very favorite thing in the world is a Kong toy filled with peanut butter. So I think that'll always get his attention. But he's really curious. He wants to see what's going on and meet all the people roaming around.
Yeah, he seems like a really sweet dog too, and he's a very beautiful dog.
Yeah, he's beautiful with the different colorings, and then I mean he's just really friendly with everybody that he meets. I think he'll be great with a family because he's pretty gentle with everybody. But he is energetic and he's still a puppy, so he's going to definitely need some exercise and some playtime. But he's gonna be a great pet for somebody.
All right, Michael, and this guy full of energy, who's this guy?
This is Buster, and he is only about 9 months old, so he's definitely a puppy and has a ton of puppy energy. But he was abandoned by his owner, so a friend of the original owner brought the animal to the shelter because he had been abandoned. So he's probably going to need quite a bit of training just to help calm him down a little bit. But he's really friendly, lots of fun. But he does have a lot of energy and just wants to play a lot.
Yeah, he was jumping on you earlier, gave you a big hug, almost knocked you back a little bit, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, that's probably why they called him Buster, but he does have some strength, even though he's a kind of a small dog. He does have some strength. But he's a retriever mix, so he's gonna be able to learn a lot of commands quickly. He just needs someone that can spend the time to do that. And I'm sure he'd probably love to have a yard also.
All right, Michael, and this guy here seems really happy. He's tail wagging and everything.
Yeah, this is Miles, and he is always happy. He was brought in actually with his sister, Meadow, who I think we featured a couple weeks ago, and he's still waiting for a home. He's really energetic. He's only about 6 months old. He's a Border Collie mix, so they're always kind of on the go and looking for something to do, and that definitely describes Miles. He's a great dog. He just has a lot of energy, but he's also still a puppy, so he's really going to need somebody that can take some time to work with him on some training and to give him the exercise that he needs.
I feel like he'd be really well with kids. I think kids would love him. He's very active. Running around.
Definitely, and he could do really well. He hasn't really learned not to play using his mouth yet. So with kids, they would just have to work on some training a little bit with that, just so that he doesn't, because he just thinks that's how you play, is by grabbing you with his mouth. So we don't, certainly don't want any kids to get injured. So that's something to keep an eye out for. But he would be great with kids because he does have so much energy, and he could keep the kids busy, and they could keep him busy as well. But he's really sweet. He's a great dog.
All right, thank you, Michael. And back to you, Thomas.
All right, JP, always some good ones there. Thanks a lot. The Animal Care Campus is located at 4140 Valley View Lane. It is open Tuesday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Then on Saturday, the hours are 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Also, check out the websites you see on the screen. Incredible, luxurious cars are on display in Irving. Get a look inside these vehicles that you have to see to believe on an upcoming edition of City Source. Also, the eye-catching fun young people are having at an Irving Recreation Center. It's Bubble Soccer next time. Email us your thoughts on our stories. The address is ictn@cityofirving.org. We may read some of your messages here on the show, or you can always comment on our videos at youtube.com/thecityofirving. And how about subscribing to our channel while you're there? And that's it for this edition of City Source. We leave you now with more from Clear the Shelters. Thanks to everyone who was a part of this one, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.